We've got a Leatherman wave here, as well as the hammer mod from Modryte on Etsy. I think used to be going by Backcountry CAD. You may be familiar. This is a modification that adds just a little sort of pommel surface to the back end of your Leatherman wave. They also have one available for the Leatherman Surge, I believe. We're going to play around with this installation, kind of do a bit of a demo, but mostly just something we're going to be playing around with here in the future. So we'll record it and share with y'all. I've got my bench vise here. I need to get these jaws swapped out. It's just taped on and the tape's falling apart, but that's for another time. What I'm going to do is slot in our Leatherman wave. Nice and easy. I want to be working on the side with the bit driver and the can opener. Now I can't get those open because it's compressed, but that's not important for the moment. What we're going to do is grab some T10 drivers here, and as always, this left-hand side we want to keep steady. Oh, I've got the wrong bit. Let's swap that up. Keep that left-hand side steady while we spin the right-hand side. And I've just tested this mod earlier. It seems like a really pretty straightforward with a couple of nuances that are worth considering. I'll grab a parts tray here for those spare parts. And you'll notice when you get this hammer mod, I don't know if this is cast or 3D printed with like a lost 3D print cast sort of hammer. I'm not 100% sure. That kind of gives me that vibe. I could be wrong though. And you've got a 3D printed spacer here just to keep those prongs from compressing in transit. So we've got the pivot screw and the cap off. I'm just going to go ahead and pop off the other side, bound up a little bit. So I'm just going to, as always, give this a little bit of a twist till it comes out easily. There we go. So I'm going to use our little punch here to keep everything in line. And then we're going to work to add in our little hammer mod. So this is going to sit in place like so. What I want to do is be very gentle here. I've got a little bit of compression on the vise. That's going to help keep all of our parts in place as I remove the punch, and that seems scary, at least it does to me, but I can remove that punch and then place it back in, and just using that lock bar, I'm going to drop our hammer mod out of the way, mostly so that I can see and so that you can see at the same time. Then there are some washers that have come with the tool. You can see I've got a bag of 0.3, I believe it's 0.3 mil, and one of 0.2 mil. In my testing, I used 2 of the 0.3 mil, but I'll show you kind of how I determined that. So let's grab a couple of these washers, and with the punch in place, grab some tweezers while I'm at it. With the punch in place, I'm going to loosen this vise up. I don't want any compression on, or I want as little compression as possible on the tool. I just want to hold it in place. And yes, I did drop a washer. That's okay. I've got extras. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come right in here between the hammer mod and the frame. And you can see how there's plenty of wiggle room right now. That comes down to manufacturing tolerances in the production of this part, as well as Leatherman frames, and there's always some built-in play on those frames in order to allow the frame to compress against the tools and keep them in place. So I'm going to grab 2 of these 0.3 millimeter washers, and I'm going to slip them without throwing them across the room, preferably. I'm going to slip them in on either side of this. Of course, this went perfectly smooth in a trial run, and now they're jumping all over on me. That's all right. Let's grab that again. And I'm just setting it in place on top of our punch. They're not going to go fully in place yet. We're switching tweezers here because this is failing on me left and right. Let's slot that in. There we go. I wonder if those tweezers picked up a little magnetism. And we're going to slot one in on the other side. And they're just sitting in place right now. They're not fully in place, but they're not fully like on the pivot. but they're sitting on top of that. I'll try and turn this so you guys can see at the risk of losing everything. I've just got those washers just sitting in place here and here. And that allows me to take the hammer and see if it's going to slide as much. Now, it's wiggling, it's pivoting, but it's not sliding. And that's what's going to tell me that I think we've got plenty of spacers there. What I might do is try to go half and half. We'll go one of the 0.3 millimeter spacers and one of the 0.2. So let me just grab that 0.2 and swap it out. We're going to set it right in there. And we still don't have any wiggle room, so we know we're good. As long as this is not sliding back and forth, in my quick test this morning, that seemed to ensure that we were going to get a proper fit in the end. So now we know our spacer sizing. I'm just going to grab this guy out of the way, this one on the right. We'll set that in our parts tray. And I'll grab the one on the left as well. And I'm going to slide our punch out just a little bit till we can get past it with our washer. And that went on the first try, but we're just going to slide that washer in between the frame and the hammer mod and then put our punch back through. Now I'm going to grab a second punch here because now we want to work on the right hand side. So this one's a little smaller, but it'll work just fine. And I'm just going to slide back through, keeping those punches touching. That means we're not going to lose our grip. Let me grab our little guy here. Magnets in this parts tray might be too strong, goodness. And now again, we can back our punch out. And slip in that washer until the punch slides back past it. A little bit of misalignment there. I'm just going to nudge it with the tweezers. And you guys won't be able to see this from the other side, but I can kind of see through the right hand side, from the right hand side, to work on that alignment. There we go. So that punch is now back through. So everything is aligned in the stack. I'm going to go back with our larger punch here. Slide right back through. We should be good. And now we're ready to reassemble this tool. It really is that simple. It's just a matter of finding the right fit with those different washers. And Modryte was kind enough to include those washers, so you can fit a lot of different tools just depending on the exact manufacturing tolerances of your specific model. Now, you saw there I removed the end caps because we won't be needing those. We're just going to take our pivot and push back through. At a certain point, it may, it did not, but it may bind up. And if it does, just back it up a little and twist. So I'm just backing that pivot up, twisting a little bit until we get it to align properly. Here we are at the very end, so we'll just twist that until it pushes all the way through, and that's how we know we are good to go. Let's grab our pivot screw here. I'm just going to get that started by hand. And then we'll grab a driver bit, spin that tight. This is really a very simple modification for an aftermarket part. This is really a nice, convenient option. So I'm going to tighten that up. It's definitely feels too tight, but that's okay. I'm going to tighten that up extra. It's kind of how I always do it. I'm going to press the lock bar and we're going to see how much tension is on that guy. It's too much, so I'll just go ahead and back that pivot screw off because we're trying to get the hammer to actuate smoothly, and at the same time we want our inner tools to actuate smoothly and not be loose. So if you don't have enough of those washers packed in, those tools will be floppy on the inside. We've actually nailed it right there. And again, that was 1.3 mil washer and 1.2 mil washer. You may have luck with two of the 0.2 millimeter washers. That may work better on your tool, but you can kind of get a feel for how tight it's going to be before you reassemble the tool. That'll just save you some time. If it was too tight when you were finished, you could take this whole thing apart, redo the process with different size washers. Let's go ahead and check the can opener, and I did destroy this finger nail earlier today, so we'll try and take our time here. And let's see. It looks like we're bypassing it. Let me just make sure. Getting hung up ever so slightly here. Well, that does seem to be operating correctly. We'll get a little bit, I think we're getting just a little bit of rubbing on the inside of that tool, but you can see our tools are a little bit floppy. Interesting. Let's try tightening it up just a little bit. We don't want our tools to tip out as we flop around. Okay, there is working better. Let's try the can opener. We are getting just a little bit of rubbing. Interesting. I'm going to pause recording, try and see if I can suss that out, and we will return to the video in just a second. So what I'm experiencing as I open the can opener is just as it gets to, let's get a flashlight out for you because it's going to be hard to see. Just as I get to this point here, that can opener is starting to rub on the inside edge of the hammer mod. So what we're going to do is break this down a little bit and switch to a 0.3 millimeter spacer there and see if that resolves our issue. Back in a flash. So same thing as before, I've just removed that pivot screw, but we don't have to break it down quite as much this time. So let's slide our, see if we can get our pivot out. It's binding up on us just a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to back our punch out. We're going to try and snag that washer out of the way. It'll probably fall out on us. It has moved out of the way, so I'm going to grab one of our 0.3 millimeter washers. We're going to give that a shot here. And again, that's because this side of the tool was rubbing. So if you have some rubbing, you can increase that spacing ever so slightly, and it will help. You saw our 0.2 mil washer just fell out there at the end as intended. Now we will slide our pivot back through. Again, if it binds up, you can always back it up and rotate it slightly. We'll add our pivot screw back, and I will tighten this up, and we will see where we are at. So after cinching everything up with that new washer configuration, we have seemingly resolved the issue. So here is the can opener, and you can see that opens much, much smoother, not rubbing against, and it's really 1/10 of a millimeter. It's really a minimal amount of difference. Our tools are actuating smoothly. I love how that bypasses, how that just fits inside of the hammer and bypasses. It still gives you full access to that screwdriver. And our tools are not shaking open. They are cinched tightly. If I release the locking bar and turn the hammer, pretty smooth action there as well. We'll add a little oil and get things dialed in. One thing I do recommend, because the hammer mod itself does directly contact the pivot screws, I do recommend using a little bit of Loctite. This is what I happen to have on hand. It's red Loctite. Most people would probably prefer blue Loctite, but I do recommend adding a little bit of Loctite to that pivot screw and then tightening it down to your preferred tension and letting it rest overnight, letting it cure up overnight. And that'll help keep the screw from backing out over time as you use the hammer mod. I don't know that that's an issue, but it's just something that I would recommend doing as a precaution. But there we go. We've got the hammer mod. All of the tools are working. Of course, it worked perfectly in our tests before the stream, and then we had to make an audible. But that's what's great about having those options for those different washers. If you're experiencing it like I did, I would recommend starting with those 2 2 of the 0.3 millimeter washers. And you can see here that hammer mod closed up on the tool. Really nice looking, it's just a really nice looking configuration. So you can open that hammer mod, use your tool normally, access your screwdriver and can opener as needed. I'll show you the screwdriver there, and as well as let's go ahead and show the can opener in place. And you can see you do still have, I think, plenty of access on there. I haven't tested the can opener, but I never really use the can opener anyway. And then the same lock that unlocks those inner tools will allow you to close up that hammer mod. And it looks like it's pretty well supported. You know, I haven't used this to hammer anything yet, but it looks like that hammer is not just supported with that one pivot, but it's also bumping into the frame here. So you do have a pretty good amount of support for that guy. So a really interesting hammer mod. Again, this is from, I believe they used to go by Backcountry CAD. So you've probably heard that name, but I do want to say when I looked it up on Etsy right before this video, the name had changed to Modryte, and same on YouTube. So I'll link their channel down below, as well as their Etsy store, and where you can get this particular hammer mod and some other ones available as well for the Leatherman Surge. And on that note, the Leatherman Surge does look like it's basically identical installation procedure. So if you're comfortable doing this, you should be comfortable doing that. That's it for this Mod Monday stream. If you're watching after the fact, you can become a channel member and watch these live on Mondays a couple of weeks before they come out to everyone else. That's where we record these. We're going to jump into a members-only Q&A right now.